Hey man, you from LA? Why you think? Cause I have a LA hat, you think I'm from fucking LA? No, I'm not from fucking LA. Like, oh, like you a Dodgers fan? Yeah. Actually, I used to be the coach. You know what I mean? They will go by los Dodgers. Now they go by the Dodgers. That's how long I've been coaching for the Dodgers. They were a fucking different name. Oh, you around the fucking area? Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. What's with the questions? Did I fucking buy tickets to see Jeopardy or did I buy tickets to see Every Spears?
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Sorbavelli back in the place to be, La Merca Superior, Palace 81 Studios. We are live in effect, live in direct. It's your boy, Mr. Nine Times. And as if you can't even really tell, I know all of y'all could tell, my voice is fucked up, dog. I've been sick literally for almost a week. And I don't know what the fuck happened. I was like I had my voice back yesterday. Around this time, I got back to talking to my normal fucking octaves. But you know me, like I want to run as soon as I could start to crawl again. And at 12 in the morning, I went for a walk to the park. And my voice is fucked up right now. By the end of this video, I'm not going to be able to talk at all. So, I'm doing like really well. I could talk and I'm on the phone. I'm talking to Prospect and we're talking about the good, the bad, and the psycho, working on that. And fucking, I'm like, fine. I'm like, all right, cool. Like everything is fine. And as I'm walking back to my house, I feel like my lungs are ice cold. And I'm like, oh no, I've never... I had a feeling like, I don't know if you've ever been in a pool and you've accidentally like inhaled or like snorted some of the chlorine and you have that weird feeling like in your nasals. That's how it felt. It just felt like I fucked up somewhere. And as soon as I got here, I was like coughing like a bitch. Like I couldn't stop coughing. And I knew, I was like, that's what your stupid ass gets for trying to be fucking let me just go on my walk, because I hadn't been walking for days and I hate that shit. Like I'm a very active person. I'm moving and grooving. I have to, I just, there's no other way for me to go about life. So I'm coughing and shit and I'm just laying in my bed and I'm like, I just fucked myself over. Like I went back to square one. I felt like this Monday and it's Thursday, So now it's probably going to take till like Saturday, Sunday for me to feel okay again. Like my voice is back and everything. I don't know what happened, bro. I was working Friday and I felt like a weird, like I felt like if I was getting a sore throat, and I was like, either my body's going to fight it or I'm going to get worse and I'm going to get sick. And then the next day when I woke up on Saturday, I felt like I had a sore throat. And I was like, great. So fucking, I had like medicine and shit. I was taking medicine. And then I'm working. And as I'm going on my lunch break, I felt like my body like aching and shit. Like it felt like if I had like it felt how my body usually feels around the end of the day work, like working hard as fuck, because I'm doing physical labor. That's how it felt at that time, even though I'd only did like 2.5 hours of work. So I was fucked up, and I felt like falling asleep. And every break after that, I felt cold as fuck, and I felt like my body was hurting. So I would just be in my car, and I just layered up, and I just tried to layer up as much as I could. And fucking, that didn't really do shit because Sunday when I woke up, fucking my body hurt. I couldn't talk. It was worse than this. Like now, like y'all know, everybody who knows. If you're a first time listener, you don't know, but for those returning, you're like, damn, this fool is like fucking sounds sick and shit. Yeah, but it's not like no sick shit I've ever experienced in my life. As a kid, I was always very sickly. I was always in and out of the hospital. I could remember my mom telling me, from when you were a baby to when you were like 8, you had asthma. And I remember, oh shit, there's Prospect. Let me hit up Prospect real quick. MC Prospect, you are now live on the God's Hour podcast.
Yeah. What's up, my boy? What's cracking, Serbs?
I'm
It's
good.
God's hour.
I'm good, bro. I'm just talking to the people of fucking how I'm sick right now and fucking how.
You're serious?
No, yeah. I'm literally like, you're on the show right now.
Oh, I thought you were playing, my boy, for sure. So you're talking to the crowd about you being sick, like a fucking dog, and being more hilarious when you're sick?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, that's like more of an inside joke, but it was like I was basically saying how when I was like, it just don't feel weird. Like I don't feel sick, and like right now I sound sick, but I don't feel sick. But I could just remember like as a kid, like having asthma from when I was a baby to like 8 years old, and just being sick. I literally remember the receptionists at the hospital, at the Kaiser in Baldwin Park. Like they'd be like, "Oh, how are you guys doing?" and shit. Like them, we saw them a lot. Like I was in the hospital a lot as a kid.
Yeah. My bad.
No, so it's,
My bad. I'm just thinking about Santi's section in our conversation earlier, dog, at the hospital.
oh well, I'll talk about. I'll go in depth later, but basically, I was saying how, cause what is it yesterday? So the whole, I'm like, being Mexican and shit, we don't believe in like going to the hospital. Like you gotta die, you gotta get shot to to go to the hospital. You don't go to the hospital.
No, yeah. I remember being a kid, bro, and getting sick, and my dad would be like, hop in the shower, come right out. We're going to put alcohol in your feet, and then throw on your fucking, socks right on. You're going to throw a sweater, you're going to sweat that shit out, and throw alcohol in your bag, bro, and just, get under the covers and sweat. That's usually what we would do, bro. It was some weird, beliefs that come from Mexico and from our grandparents from way back, and little stuff like that actually works.
Dude, my grandma would tell me, turn the shower and put it on like fucking like blazing hot, like melt your skin off hot, and put your back to the shower and then put it on for like, I don't know how many seconds, but then turn it on the opposite, like ice cold. And my grandma would tell me that shocks your body and it gets rid of the sickness. I'm like, Grandma, that's gonna fucking kill me. Like, what the fuck?
She's gonna give you pneumonia.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's comedy, brother. That's comedy. Yeah, I was actually that's an interesting topic, bro. I was actually calling you about the track Jaded. I have the artist, her name's Era. She just laid out the hook for your Jaded track, so I'm definitely gonna catch up later, my boy. Yeah, we'll gotta do our interview too for God's Hour pretty soon, my boy, and I'll let you handle the episode. Shout out to everybody listening and tuning in. It's motherfucking Imperial Serves. That's my carnal right there. It's God motherfucking hour, dog. It's P.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome as fuck, bro. Like the people have been needing the return of MC Prospect. What is it? Like people have no idea. Like I told them, like, you know, we got by the time this comes out, I think the good, the bad, and the cycle will probably be out already. This probably will come out in the beginning of April.
Crazy.
So
We might as well just let them know that we got the second track that's almost done. It's called Over Your Heads. And by the time this episode comes out, that shit won't be released yet. So the good, the bad, and the psycho is going to be an ill track, man. Tune in. Me and Serbs, we got some fucking crazy ass shit going.
no, yeah, I fucking that shit is just wild. Like I think I told you, but Prospect is somebody like I've never met. He's a 1 in a million artist, first of all, and I've never had a session. Like the first section, our first song, we made like a crazy fucking banger, and me and Prospect is like, we're talking about chemical compounds. We're like, whatever makes crack, like, you know, sodium and base or whatever the fuck, like.
And then I switched it up over to fucking magnesium and fucking prosilicate and all this bullshit chemical mixes for plants and shit like that. So we're actually getting down on what AU is, what's AG, and all these fucking chemical symbols. But yeah, we were talking about all kinds of shit, man. We're definitely bringing a chemistry fucking boom to this whole industry. Definitely coming soon, man. And we got the third track is gonna be with Imperial Serbs on it. So yeah, we got crazy shit coming, man. Definitely tune in. And then we got Carnalito Imperial Serbs album coming out soon that I'm featured on too. That's another crazy banger. Video coming soon.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to make that shit happen, bro. ASAP. But I'll hit you up because the what is it? The homie Obi, he wants to shoot next week, and I don't know if you're available for next Wednesday. But we'll talk about it. I'll call you fucking, what is it? Like right after the I'm gonna walk Presley, so I'll fucking call you probably like half an hour.
I'll be right here on the phone, bro. Hit me up. Excuse me. All right, brother. Tune in for we'll link up in a little bit.
All right then, bro. I'll hit you soon.
All right, good night. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, big things coming with Prospect. So as a kid, being in and out of the hospitals, it was like, I felt like it was normal. I felt like it was just like, I'm coming to see the doctor, but you don't see the doctor like every week, you know? Just, and it was never from my mom. That was like always the weird part. And sometimes we would go to the one in Baldwin Park, and then there's another one. I want to say it's in Fontana, but the Kaiser I'm thinking of is weird because it's like it has elevators in it, and like the rooms in. Okay, so okay, so the Kaiser here in Ontario is like, all the shit might be under one building, but you go to the one in Baldwin Park, and it's like, it's just built different. Like, it's just, the architecture is different. Who the fuck is honking? The architecture is just to give you like an idea. I remember going to different Kaisers and getting different shits, whatever, just a regular checkup. And I remember it was like always for like my lungs and shit. So maybe this is just like God reminding me, like, take care of yourself, because I've been like in this fucking rat race of just every day, waking up, doing shit. And it gets fucking tiring, bro. It gets really like, fucking, when does it end, bro? Just, you wake up, you get up, I only have 2 hours until I go to work. I fucking come home. I go to sleep. On my off days, ain't even off days. You know, Wednesdays is like I'm doing all my chores. It takes up my whole day. Then I might, really Wednesdays is like my only free day. Then Thursdays is like I'm always doing something. It's just like I being busy and shit. Just felt like I never had like no time, especially since I started working at the New Holland to just for myself, bro. I was so used to having, I would wake up like at 7 and I'd start getting ready at like 2 o'clock and I leave for work at 3. Now I wake up at 11. I go for my walk. I eat at 12. Not even at 12. No. I take a shower like at fucking 12:30. I start eating around 1. And then 2, I start getting ready for work. And then like 3, I fucking leave. I come home at 3. And I sleep around like 4. And I do that every day. And it gets fucking old. So that's why I need to transfer the fuck out. And hopefully they call me and I transfer the fuck out. But yeah, I've just always been kind of getting sick as a kid. Then I kind of grew out of that. Then for like the past couple of years, it's just been allergies. Then it went to like COVID. I dodged COVID until like 2020. I want to say 2021. So I dodged it for a whole year. And then I got the Omicron. And that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought I was going to die. Presley was scratching at the door, trying to get in. And he was like the only one that was like there for me, like every day, the whole step of the journey. And my mom, she took care of me. She would, bring me tea and shit and peanut butter jelly sandwiches. And when you're sick, you do not have an appetite at all. I have an appetite now. What the fuck did I even eat? Oh, I had a sandwich, so I'm cool. I have some sushi in the fridge, so I'll fucking get some sushi after. But as you can see, it's kind of like, my voice is already fucked up. I shouldn't even be doing this. But yeah, like I don't really give a fuck. Like I'm gonna be doing what I want to do. I'm gonna do the podcast. It doesn't even matter. So I was sick with COVID. I was fucked up. I thought I was gonna die. I was spitting phlegm. I was in and out of very high fevers, like 102, 103. Thought I was gonna fucking die. Had a fucking towel over my head like the Taliban. And I was playing like Medal of Honor, European Assault every day. And the only shit that got me through was like being with Presley and watching like episodes of Restore Order. And like rest in peace to Restore Order. They used to be like in studio. Now they just do lives every Monday. And I would look forward to that. Like Mondays at 5 o'clock, I think they would do it at 5. And they would end around 8. So that was really cool. And I never really got sick after that. I would just get allergies. So I don't know what the fuck happened. I probably was sick and then I just got allergies, but obviously that whatever I had long lasting effects because we're already like a week later and I still feel fucked up. So whatever it is, I don't give a fuck enough really, but it's just more so like it made me appreciate like now I can finally take a break. I called off 3 days sick, no pay. I don't feel good about it. My checks is going to be light as a fucking rock. But whatever, man. Like, health is wealth. And you got to take care of yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, the money doesn't mean anything. Work doesn't mean anything. Like, you're always going to have work. But you're not, you can always find a job. You ain't always going to find a fucking your health. So that's just kind of the point. I want to drive home with everybody. And I just kind of want to share it with everybody. I was going to take this week off, but it's like, fuck it, man. I fucked up because I would have been good had I not went on my walk. And when I go on my walk with Presley, I'm going to just make it real quick. Nothing strenuous, just real light. Because I was pushing myself in the morning early. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just get it done real quick. Fuck it. We getting it done. You know, back in action, back in the fucking trenches. Bad fucking idea. It was horrible. It was a horrible fucking idea. It was like, why did I fucking make this stupid ass mistake? Because I fucking took some medicine and go to sleep and I woke up. And it was kind of like God saying, congratulations, like, you're a fucking idiot, you know? So, last week, I went and took my dad to go see ERBY Spears for his birthday. His birthday gift was going to see ERBY Spears. We were seated at the worst fucking... The Improv, I swear to God, y'all need to step y'all shit up, bruh. These stools fucking felt like the stools that they shot Abe Lincoln's fucking head in the theater. They was probably sitting on these fucking chairs, bro. Stiff as a board. Like, they had cushions, but as soon as you sat, it felt like you sat on a whoopee cushion. Felt like you sat, you might as well have been sitting on two napkins stacked on top of each other, bro. Because literally, I felt like I was sitting on a fucking wooden plank the whole fucking time. It pissed me off, number one, because literally they sit you, I was seated against like the middle tier. So the middle tier is a seat, a table, a little ass table, 2 seats. If you order 4 drinks, you took the whole table up already. That's how small these fucking tables are. You order a fucking thing of chips and 4 drinks, someone's gonna knock something over and flip the fucking table over and you're fucked. So I'm fucking sitting basically in the middle of the aisle, because if you sit me and my dad next to each other at the Improv, we take up about 10% of the fucking Improv. Not because we're big, but because the place is fucking small. And they decided we're going to pack everyone like fucking sardine, you know, fucking jalapenos in a fucking truck, all squished together. And we're seated. The seats are horrible. I'm like in the middle of the aisle. People are bumping me like to get through and shit. I never wanted to stab somebody more than at this fucking point in the venue. And some asshole. So the way they seat you is the booth. Like, here's the middle of the aisle. We're sitting here. And I'm basically in the middle of the fucking aisle because my dad takes up space, I take up space. I want to sit comfortably, so I'm like fucking G status, like, you know, in the middle of the aisle, not all the way in the middle, but like probably like halfway into the aisle. And the booth, the table, and the 2 seats directly across from us. I swear to God, we had from the gun and shit, there was this much space for people to go through. So people are bumping me, and no one's saying, excuse me, oh my bad. No one's saying that shit. So the whole time I'm like bump, and I'm like, bro, like if someone catches an attitude with me, I'm gonna just throw all this shit away. I'm gonna get the filetto out. Someone's gonna get cut. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know, the fact that they sit people at the Improv like this is fucking unacceptable as fuck. They can all suck my dick at the Improv. And so, that not only is that bad enough, but they had this weirdo come up to me. Excuse me, sir, you need to sit fucking closer to the table. What do you want me to do? Fucking hug my dad and shit? You know, be all hugged up and shit with him? Like, no, bro, I want to sit comfortable. It's not my fault, bro. Like, that I'm in the middle of the fucking aisle. I want to sit comfortable. Why would you see people like this, bro? Fucking makes no fucking sense. And I just looked at him. And I just scooted just a little bit. Oh, can you scoot a little more? Say something else, bro. Because I'll fucking get up and get in your face. I'll say something to you, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. I spent good money to come here. You're going to make me fucking buy another 2 things off your shitty fucking food item. Do not fucking play with me, bro. When I come to see comedy, I want to see comedy and I want to laugh. I don't want to be bumped by a bunch of fucking people. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't give a fuck about nobody, bro. I just want to see comedy, bro. That goes to my other fucking point. There was this fucking Moreno, and not to say it like that, But this Moreno that was sitting next to us, old, probably lied about his age. He said he was like something stupid, like he was 75 when he looked 60 at the most. You know, I'm 75. My dad, wow. You know, my dad has the craziest reactions. Wow. You know what I mean? Whoa, that's crazy. You look good and shit. I'm like, fuck this fool. He don't look good. He look like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? And it was like, it was crazy because I'm just sitting there listening to this guy's bullshit. For me to talk like this, it takes a lot of energy. So I don't know if I'm going to keep talking like this. But as I'm sitting there, this fucking guy is talking to my pop about all kinds of bullshit, where he's from, Mississippi. It ain't, you know, we're not in Kansas anymore. You know, all this fucking bullshit. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, somebody shoot me right now. Somebody, like, this is torture, bro. Like, the show didn't start for another like hour and a half. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody just fucking North Korea nuke us already, because this is torture for this guy to talk to my dad. I'm in the middle of the aisle getting bumped by people. The show ain't start. This guy is just a fucking pathological liar weirdo. Like, he tried to say, oh, I seen tickets here for $120, and then as soon as I seen it were like $30, I got them. I was like, that's a steal. And I'm like, who are you talking to, bro? The Improv is always 35 plus tax, no matter where you buy. You know, maybe I could see him going through a third party, but I could tell, like, he's like asking us questions like if he's never been there before. That's how I know. Like, you've never been here, bro. Like, shut your fucking face up. I don't want to hear you anymore. But I've been there enough times, and now I know. Anytime I go there now, if you ever go to the Improv, ask for a booth. Ask to sit by yourself if they could do that. They're probably not. Ask them to sit by yourself, because you will be subjugated to somebody's bullshit. No matter if you come with friends, 2 people, 10 people, there's always you. No matter where you sit, wherever you sit, there's gonna be that one guy next to you. Hey man, you from LA? Why you think? Cause I have a LA hat, you think I'm from fucking LA? No, I'm not from fucking LA. Like, oh, like, are you a Dodgers fan? Yeah. Actually, I used to be the coach. You know what I mean? They will go by Los Dodgers. Now they go by the Dodgers. That's how long I've been coaching for the Dodgers. They were a fucking different name. Oh, you around the fucking area? Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. What's with the questions? Did I fucking buy tickets to see Jeopardy, or did I buy tickets to see ERBY Spears? Like, what about me is so interesting to you? Are you a fucking journalist? Are you an interviewer? I didn't know I was fucking Blake Griffin for people to ask me all these questions and shit. All these sports questions, all these where are you from and all that shit. Listen, man, I've been doing music 10 years. 10 years rapping, 11 years producing. Ain't nobody got these kind of questions for me outside of the Ontario Improv. You go to the Ontario Improv and all of a sudden, bro, you're fucking like, you're like the fucking celebrity of the night, bruh. Fuck the comedians. You're the fucking comedian, bro. For all they know, all these fucking questions from these random ass people is like fucking ridiculous, bro. So, and this is a horrible episode to break this down. It would have been funny had my voice been normal. Now it just sounds sad. I feel like people are gonna watch this and be like, damn, this fool's fucked up. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. I want to talk about this, so. His opener was pretty cool. It was like some older white guy. He was talking about pretty much his autistic son. And I was kind of like, wow, you know what I mean? This fool's older and his son has to be like in college, you know, probably like I'm older than him. So like, you know, whatever, fool. Like he must have been born around like 2000, right? And I'm like, that is ridiculous how all this like, mental health shit is going around and shit like that. And don't get me wrong, guys, it's not like I don't want people to think like autism, like it's a problem. It's not a problem. Like as far as like God's children and all that, like God bless all the babies out there. But when I feel like it's because of the shit that the government's okaying, like there's a lot of shit that's enabled from the government or from like corporations. They're able to do these things. And we're seeing results of that. Like why? Like I think the comedian, he was saying how when he was growing up, like any autistic children was like a 1 in 6,000, like basically nobody, right? And like now it's like fucking 1 in 20 or some shit like that. Like basically your kid is gonna have a good chance of having some sort of autism, which is fucking crazy, bro. Like I don't understand where this shit comes from. But I just don't want nobody thinking like I'm a super mental health advocate, and when I feel like people are enabling mental health issues, I have a problem with that. I have a super fucking problem. So Ari Spears' opener was fucking, he was all right. I didn't really laugh that much. He had some like in his whole opening was like how nobody paid to see him, they paid to see Aries. Okay, that's a no-brainer where the joke's at. And then he talked about his son. So his shit with his son was pretty clean. Aries went up right after. And this guy did like a whole half hour. You know, he was like the fucking, there's no host. It's just he went up, Aries went up. Usually there's a fucking host, break it up, some jokes, crowd work. This fool didn't really do none of that shit. He did half an hour. And I feel like his material wasn't strong enough for half an hour. Like I could tell he stretched the fuck out of it for half an hour versus had he chopped it down to like he could have got 10 minutes out of the half hour of like really strong material to where like you wouldn't stop laughing type shit. When I go see a comedian, I don't want to see some bullshit. I don't want to see like you drew it out. Like I felt like that was what like maybe not Cat Williams, but some shit like that where you just don't have the material strong enough, bro. I don't want to see no comedian with half-ass material. I want to be prepared and say some shit and it be funny. Like Aries was up there killing them with the jokes. And I remember telling my dad, I was like, look, Aries isn't a comedian where you're gonna heckle him. Like, who the fuck keeps hitting me up? Aries isn't a comedian that you're just gonna fucking heckle him and he's gonna be cool with it. Like, I've seen him destroy people online. So I was like, I wonder how, because the improv for whatever reason is notorious for people to fucking just heckle the fuck out of you. And I feel like that's maybe why some comedians don't go there. But then again, these are Wednesday, Thursday nights. I've only seen Tony Hinchcliffe on a Saturday, but even he got heckled and then they shut him down. So maybe it is just the Ontario Improv. So, but Aries went up there and he did his thing, right? And I could tell the Moreno we were sitting next to was not a fan of comedy because he's laughing at shit. Like he's laughing too hard at jokes that aren't that funny, and he's not laughing at jokes that I thought were funny, which means he was just laughing like, oh, if we can, is it okay to laugh? Oh, ha ha ha, like we're all gonna laugh now. Like no, there were parts that, and I like that too, where I'll listen to, I'll get jokes that people don't even like that didn't even hit them like that. Like, oh shit, like that shit was funny as fuck. That shit was funny. Oh my god, yeah, Aries had a bunch of funny shit, but I remember that this Moreno, like my dad, he's like fake as fuck in public. My dad will make you think you guys have been friends your whole life. The way he'll get along with somebody. And then it's funny because the minute y'all stop talking, he'll look at me and be like, man, that motherfucker was a talker. And I'm like, well, yeah, you were talking with him the whole time, bro. I don't know what you thought was going to happen, you know? So it was funny because, not that, okay, the situation is funny because Aries had, and this isn't verbatim, but let me just paraphrase what Aries said some shit like, you know, that nigga's crazy or something like that. My dad was laughing. I never seen my dad laugh this much in my whole life. Seeing my dad laugh and have a great time seeing Aries Spears, it just made my whole life, you know, because growing up, my dad was very hard-headed, very strict, you know, with my ass. Not all the time, but just, you know, he's whipped my ass and, you know, very, very by the fucking, you know, strict. So to see that with my pop and you know, I bought wings and whatever the fuck else and shit like that, it was really, really cool, you know. And when Aries says some shit like, you know, that nigga's crazy, my dad's busting up laughing, turns to the Moreno and he's like, ah, yeah, that nigga's crazy. The Moreno looks at my dad. And then he just fucking looks straight ahead. And that made me holler, bro. When I seen that shit, my dad had no idea. He just said that. And then he kept on laughing and shit. That shit had me dying, bro. I couldn't believe my dad had said that to this fool. And I remember telling my dad, do you know that you basically, deaded your whole friendship with this guy if y'all were ever friends because of what you you echoed what Aries had set up on stage, and he I could see it in his eyes, he just looked at you and looked away, and my dad had no idea. He was like, oh no, I didn't even see it, and he just kind of laughed about it. And you know, if you're gonna go see comedy, it's it's funny. That's not racist. That's just some funny shit. And my pop didn't even mean to say it. He didn't mean to look at this Moreno and be like, oh yeah, that nigga, you know what I mean? All fucked up. It's just he was repeating what this guy said. But there's some people out there that get that twisted. So I'm just I don't know, for people don't get that shit twisted. You know. My pops was just trying to have a fun time, you know, and I'll literally stab that guy if he ever fucking stepped up to my pop. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's my pop. I'll do anything for my pop. My pops has done shit for me to where you know, giving me favors to the point where I could just never, I could never go against my pop. And if you go against my pop, bruh, I'm the guard dog. I will literally just look at my pop, take the leash off, so I could just maul this motherfucker to death. That's how I am with my dad, and that's how I am with my grandma. When I live with my grandma, it was I was very protective of my grandma. Whenever we would go out, you know, open the door for grandma, you know, just shit like that. And I remember, never forget when fucking somebody had some attitude with my grandma, and I looked at my grandma and I was like, Grandma, you want me to tell this guy something? And she looked at me, she's like, no. She's like, don't even, because she seen my grandma looked at my eyes and shit, see how serious I was, fucking, Grandma, do you want me to say something to this guy? She's like, no, don't do shit. And I was like, okay. I love my family to death, man. I'll do anything for my family and shit. And hold up, we're talking about Morenos, right? No disrespect. When I say Morenos, I don't want, this is another thing too. This is another point. When I say Morenos, I could easily say negro or even worse, and I'll never say this, but mayate. I'll never say those words because it's very derogatory. But Morenos is you know, we say that for darker skinned people in Spanish. So I'm talking to one of the homies, and I posted the design Carlos had did, and the homie hits me up and he goes, oh, that's that's a black person's haircut. I felt like my Uncle George would say some shit like that. And I'm just like, how the fuck did we get to this point in society where we're just blatantly racist? I feel like when I grow up, I'm going to feel like in that void of like people that still say dinosaur shit. Because I remember still saying, you know, that shit's gay. That shit's gay as fuck. I don't literally mean like it's homosexual. I meant like it's dumb or some shit like that. But people don't really get that. What I don't get is like, how is this like a black person's haircut? I told the homie, I've never seen a black person with my fucking designs. You know, shout out to the homie Carlos. But fucking, I've never, like, he does great original designs too. He'll look at something somebody did, put his own little twist on it. Not a big fan of this one, to be honest with you. I don't like how it's like kind of like it goes into like a like somewhere right here, right? Can't feel the patch. Maybe it's this part or some shit. But I kind of don't like when it go like that. I kind of would rather like it go to a point, like razor sharps. I like razors, you know? I didn't even get to any of what the fuck I was gonna say really on my shit. But let me end the improv shit. Let me see real quick. Yeah. It was a good show. Aries Spears. I feel like Chris D'Elia was better, but Aries had a more consistent like amount of material to where like I was laughing pretty much like the whole time versus Chris. It was like very great storytelling. So I wasn't laughing all the way through. Message of the day, man, is health is wealth. Do not put anything over your health. Your health is number one. So that means, you know, before and after everything, it's always your health. It's always you, prioritize you. No one has you like you do. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.